how is everyone doing today? I hope everyone is having a fantastic day. My name is ATX Crypto. Here we primarily look at Hex, Pulse Chain, and Pulse X. Pretty much the Richard Heart projects. Now, I wanted to actually go over some items today and wanted to see has Richard Heart changed? Okay? Like fundamentally, has he changed from who he used to be to what he's doing now? And so what I wanted to do is just kind of take a peek and look at some past videos of our man Richard Heart, look at some past tweets of our man Richard Heart, just try to look at some current videos of him doing debates, look at some current tweets and just see really kind of what's happening overall. Wanted to see if there was anything that kind of stood out to me because he has, for the most part, switched his marketing strategy. It called outrage marketing. So we're just gonna take a look and see, has he actually changed? Okay, and this is always a fun thing as well. Let me pull this up here. No. Okay. Wonder if that's okay. If it says no data, I assume it means we should be good. So there's 0 drop frames, so all should be good here on my end. If there's any issues at all, please feel free to let me know. Again, what we're gonna look at today is a look at the Richard Heart, who he was in the past, who he is now, and has our man changed? Okay, so taking a look here, y'all, let's just see, right? And so let me pull this up for everyone to actually see. Okay, now this came down to a simple little item where I wanted to see who Richard Heart was. I don't know if there are a lot of y'all new to the Hex, Pulse, and Pulse X community and the Richard Heart ecosystem. I know there's many new people, as from when we first started the sacrifice of Pulse Chain and Pulse X, and there's been 2.5 years, almost 3 years of Hex. And we can see right here, Richard Heart has actually been making videos over 5 years on this part. Now this just allows us to see that he was making videos long before Hex was even given birth. Okay, so let's just go back and take a look, right? And so this is when things can be a little bit interesting, because even myself, who've been a Hexican for almost 2 years, has actually not really gone back to see Richard Heart videos. And I wonder if other people have also not gone back to watch Richard Heart videos. The man has a lot of knowledge. The man has a lot of insight. Every single time he has any communication, debate, or any sort of item that he has to share some information, it always comes off as factual to me. And for me, if it's factual, it's easy, and he says this all the time, it's easy to win a debate when he is only telling the truth, when he's only spitting facts, when he's only saying factual items. He's not having to make up stuff and try to come up with some sort of random item. He's been doing this for a long time. In fact, he's been giving us this information for free the entire time. He's done 2 free self-help books, which, by the way, a wild SJ, shout out to her, she did the audio transcriptions for them, so the audio voiceovers, so definitely go check out her channel. Start reading and listening to the books. There's a lot of great knowledge and information in there. Along with that, he had a lot of really good information when he first came out with videos. And so it made me wonder, what have I missed? Has he always been this way? Has he changed? Has Hex and the rally that it's had changed him? Has the Bitcoin expansion and fall changed him? Who was he when he first started uploading these videos, and what was his goal? Because for me, it looks like he's always intended to only help people. Okay, And so if I see someone who's only intending to help people, it makes it very easy for me to believe the man. It makes it very easy for me to listen to all the other information. I'll get past whatever, item may be that someone says, right? And so that's one of the things that has always gotten me. It's just a matter of seeing how it all works, right? So looking back on these videos here, let me pull this up real fast. Give me 1 second. Here we go. I'm gonna lower the music down just a little bit, just so that way, because what I wanted to do today was actually go back and listen to some of these old videos. I had realized I've never actually gone back and spent the time to listen to what he was saying. And so you look at some of these titles: men make better men and women make better women, right? Dimorphism beat equality. And he explains what dimorphism is in this video. Men and women are supposed to act different. Equality isn't specialization. Now he's again speaking from a place of love on these videos, right? And so whenever I see that, it just really makes me happy whenever I see it, okay? Because it just means that he's always been trying to help people. Always. And that's such a cool concept, right? You just don't really see that too often anymore nowadays. So often are the times where we actually have any sort of item that can be a conflict, and we're scared to share our thoughts. We're scared to speak what we may feel because we are worried of what others may say. And he gets a lot of flack for this too. This doesn't come at easy cost, okay? He gets a lot of flack for what he says in some of these videos, and even now for what he's doing within the community. Someone who has actually benefited from the product of Hex will still badmouth him for what he's doing, and that boggles my mind. But without further ado, I wanted to pull this up because look at some of these videos, and I realized I hadn't said anything, right? I had realized that I've not actually spent the time learning. So saying left, right is stupid. Describe your politics. What does he say? Like your sandwich toppings. That's hilarious. So I listened to one earlier because this is actually something he has said recently, and I wanted to go back. He actually mentioned how to fix democracy in one of his recent interviews. And that's another thing. He's been doing a lot of interviews, y'all. Like a lot of interviews. And so it made me also wonder, did he used to do as many interviews? And that's kind of what led me down this whole little rabbit hole, right? And so what I wanted to do here was just kind of look and watch some of these videos. For those of y'all who haven't watched them yourself and are watching my video for the first time and may just want to hear this information because, again, he has some knowledgeable stuff, feel free to stick around. Feel free to subscribe, hit the like button, and again, hit the notification bell to be notified of any videos that I post. But again, without further ado, let's take a look and watch some of this real fast. Oh, come on, you can handle. Apparently I can't handle streaming and trying to pull this up as well, which is interesting. I assumed I should be able to handle this pretty easily, but if not, all good.
So, feminism. Everyone wants to be a feminist these days. You can't really trust most things that end in ist. Do you know anything that ends in ist that you like? Proctologist. I don't. So, it turns out in biology there's this thing called sexual dimorphism. And what that means is sometimes the guys are bigger than the girls, sometimes the girls are bigger than the guys, and based on those differences, just size alone, you're going to get huge differences in behavior. Now, why would that exist? for the same reason you don't have 11 quarterbacks in a football team, because specialization allows for excellence, right? So let's say we're, a couple thousand years ago, and life's a little bit harder. We've got a kid. We're trying to raise that kid, make sure it doesn't get eaten by lions or whatever other predators are running around. We want to make sure that that kid turns out fabulously, right? Well, how are we going to do that? Well, we're going to clean it when it's dirty, feed them, love them, hug them, train them, teach them. So the question is,
What we do?
how many people do you need to take care of that kid at the same time? So let's say that for the purposes of this thought experiment, that taking care of kids is a motherly activity, which it pretty much is, because until guys start squirting titty milk, the kids are going to starve just hanging out with guys, right? They really need to hang out with some women, particularly ones that are lactating, right? So kids born, hanging out with mom, breastfeeding, right? They're exchanging information through the milk. The kid's telling chemically.
Well, right away, what I see, look at this, y'all. So this is what he had, obviously, before. Oh, man, can't even see. Why is my screen zoomed in so much? Screen capture, display. Display. Cool, okay. Okay, no. Alright, one second here. Let's see if I can just add this in. And go screen capture. Why is it? Oh, here we go. Yep, let's remove. Okay. And does this show? No. Cool. Alright, then we're just going to lower this on down toward the bottom. Alright, cool. So, again, on this one, what you can see right from the jump is, look at this logo that he had. It's that cash grab. It's that power fist chain that he has, the money grab that he talks about, right? And so that was the logo that he had back then, and it just said Richard Hart. I just noticed that, and so I've always seen him wear the necklace. Whoops, sorry about that. I've always seen him wear the necklace. I just didn't know if you know how that worked, and so that's kind of cool seeing that.
The mom, what it actually needs through the breastfeeding, through the suckling. The kid is getting lots of immune system through the colostrum from the mother, right? So, and the mother's having changes to her psychology from the oxytocin release and other chemicals. It turns out that if your tits are full of milk, having a kid suck the milk out makes them stop hurting. It's a good reward, right? We like it when our tits don't feel like exploding.
Hey.
At least I do. Except when I'm getting my swole on. So, what if the man that helped create the child, acts just like the woman, wants to hang out, even though he doesn't have titty milk. He's just hanging out, being there. Well, where's the food going to come from? You got to eat, right? I mean, it's not like you guys are like living on top of a banana tree or something. You probably live
Brilliant
in
idea,
shelter,
by the way.
And there's probably not food growing in your shelter. Well, someone's got to go and get the food, right?
Right.
So
right.
should that someone be the mother that is the only one that can feed the child, right? It can't eat cheeseburgers. It needs milk.
Right.
Period. Milk. That's what it needs, right? Well, I think that the father should go and get the food, because if the father dies while trying to get food, the mom can still go get it. But if the mom dies while trying to get food, the food doesn't fucking matter, because the mom has to process the food into milk to feed the kid, right?
Right.
So it's blatantly, wildly obvious that children need their mothers more than they need their fathers. Now you could try and invent like a very convoluted, there's just this one lady that's got titty milk all the time, so, we can let the original mom die. I don't think anyone's stupid enough to make that argument. At least I
don't think
not.
so either.
Don't read the comments, right? So
I should go and read the comments.
That men and women are different. Kids only pop out of women. Kids only get fed by women, right? The mitochondrial DNA only comes from women. The father has no part in it, right? So, for you guys that didn't know, you don't have just one set of DNA. You have at least two. Your set that came from mom and dad, And then the set that's in your mitochondria, which is separate, it just comes from your mom. Crazy.
Okay.
Then there's some people in this world that
That
actually
is
have more
crazy.
than 2 sets. They're chimeras. Some of their DNA is mixed up.
Did you just say
differently from
chimera?
some of their other.
I noticed he'll pronounce certain things certain ways, and it could be the right way to pronounce it. I've always called it chimera personally. Let me know in the comments down below how you pronounced it. Chi, like I guess Kymera, or chimera, where you hear everything Chimera. Anyways, it's kind of cool.
Their DNA. Crazy. Those people aren't that common. So the point is, if you're arguing for equality and you're arguing for the destruction of diversity through making everything the same, a giant gray goo of mankind, you're an asshole. We're not supposed to be equal. That's why we have roles. That's why we have specialization. That's why we have different kinds of cereal. We don't have one kind of fucking cereal because it's unfair for Cheerios to be different than Fruit Pops. No, they're supposed to be different, okay?
Hey y'all, let me know in the comments down below too. What's your favorite type of cereal? I'll tell you mine right from the jump. Cinnamon Toast Crunch. Let's go.
If you look at countries where people have the most opportunity, right? Let's look at Scandinavia. The most opportunity, the highest disposable income, the most safety. They win best countries in the world every year. It's not an accident. It's measurable, right? These aren't party animals that are rating these countries. These are pretty nerdy sociologist types and economist types that have decided that these places are awesome to live in, right? When's the last time you heard about a terrorist attack in, say, Norway? I can't remember one. There may have never been one. Well, I guess there was that white dude on the island. That guy killed a lot of people. But other than that guy, not so much terror going on there, right? So the point is it good for human beings to search for equality? Yeah, it is. It's also good for us to search for patterns, right?
Okay.
Is it good for us to search for equality and patterns in the wrong places? No. If you're taking a shit and looking for signs of extraterrestrial life in it, you're fucking up. I mean, I hope you're fucking up. I don't want there to be but aliens. I think I do.
Aliens. God damn.
So, my point, stop arguing for equality where it's harmful to have it, okay? I don't want idiots programming my computer. I don't want the world's best brain surgeon compounding my medicine. Brain surgery involves knives. Compounding medicine involves mortars and pistols and whatever else they're using. Not a lot of knives. They're two different skill sets, right? And life is complex enough where you can't be good at everything. You can only be truly exceptional in a couple things, period. That's it, just a couple things, right? There's not that many Michelangelos running around who are polymaths and Renaissance man. And even if there was, I bet he'd whoop a lot more ass if he sticked in a single domain. Depending. Probably being multidisciplinary paid off better in the past when we had less discoveries. Now that we've dived so much deeper down all these paths, it's harder to make, it's harder to even get caught up down a single path to be able to add from another place in an exciting way. So, you guys out there that are searching for equality, it's beautiful. Keep up the good work, but holy shit, leave it out of gender and leave it out of men and women. Men and women were working just fine for thousands of years, and you destroying diversity and making everyone a gray goo of gender, it's not making the world a better place. Luckily enough, the world doesn't give a shit enough about what you're talking about to really change much. So I guess we've got that going for us. Stop advertising and marketing for something that if you stopped for 10 minutes and actually thought about what the world would look like, you wouldn't want it, right? Oh, and by the way, it's actually a competitive system out there. If you become too much of a bitch, another country comes and fucks you up. So, you know, maybe the reason no one's invaded and fixed North Korea is because they're willing to fuck people up, right? And maybe the more bitch mode your society is, maybe someone comes and takes it from you. You know, acting like a pussy is not without cost. Ask any high school kid what acting like a pussy gets you. Well, it gets you knocked around a lot because society punishes those that act like pussies for good reason. Some people that were on the fence and could have gone ultra pussy or not, well, they decided to stop being pussies because it didn't pay well, right? It's not an accident.
Right.
It's built into the system and it works. There's a lot of other ugly shit that sucks that works, like bears eating their kids. That's horrible. I don't want to see that, but it works. You don't have to compete with that bear next year, right? So, life and reality and biology and evolution, these things have figured out a lot of shit that you guys just getting out of college have not figured out. No, that's all I'm going to say for now. I got about a million other points I'll probably share with you in the future.
Hey. And that's actually his first video that he posted, y'all. That was the very first video that he had posted, which I found to be just interesting, right? Not sure if y'all had gone back and actually started seeing his first video, right? That was my first time today going back and seeing that he was uploading videos in 2016. Okay, so almost 6 years ago now. That's a long time to be uploading videos at a pretty consistent schedule too. So he didn't just accidentally end up with 142,000 subscribers. He's gaining this daily, which is awesome. He's anticipated to be at 150,000 here in the next month, just based on the projection that he's going. So really cool to see all this information and really just watch it all. So that was the very first video. Let me know what you thought on that one. I do have another video because, again, he had mentioned something in one of his recent interviews, and that was how to fix democracy. Okay, and this one actually kind of caught my attention because it's such an easier method and it's not even being discussed. And so I thought that was kind of interesting, the fact that, again, we're not even discussing at this point in time this information, right? And why would we not discuss it, right? So if you look at some of these things, if you look at them, okay, if you actually see what he's talking about overall, he's been saying this same stuff for years. Now here's something that he was talking about. Let's pull this up. Here's how you fix democracy, okay? So, boom. Here's how you fix democracy. Watch this. This is such a good idea.
Voting for the lesser of two evils sucks. So, got a couple solutions. 1, have less evil people running for office. Perhaps we attract higher quality applicants by paying a competitive wage. If you have the option of making $100,000 working for the government or $1 million working in the private sector, why would you want to get paid 10 times less? Sometimes the things that you get elected for have term limits as well. So whatever money, even if you thought it was good that you could make, you don't get to make for that long. And what about like career growth? How much more do you make as you stay in the job? Nothing? What a terrible idea. What a terrible pay structure. And you wonder why the people that run for office aren't the best the world has to offer. Well, the pay isn't commensurate with the job, right? So what else could we do to fix the political system? We could fix the way you vote. So right now, if you go and you vote, you write down one name for each position. Well, that's the least amount of data that I could get from you. Why don't instead I get a ton more data from you and get a ranked list? Hey, I want this guy to win, but if I can't get him, give me this guy. And if I can't get that guy, give me this guy. Then when you combine everybody's ranked lists, you can get someone that everyone pretty much likes. They're number 2 or they're number 3. Instead of getting these polarizing candidates, which make it very hard to get consensus, which makes it very hard to get anything passed because you need the agreement of many people. If all you write is the one person that you like the most, well, on one party, the 51% outdoes the 49% of another party, and then we've now elected someone that half the people don't like. But if everyone is their number 2 kind of like the same guy, then you could elect somebody that everyone liked quite a bit, and then they could get things done. It may not have been their first choice, but it could have been everybody's second choice. So a ranked list is going to do a much better job serving the intentions of the voter than a single piece of data. So
guys, why is this not being discussed on a more social level? Like how can we change democracy in such a way that it truly is still democratized? Because right now it's ran by essentially just 2 parties, and if one party wins, the other party's upset, and vice versa, right? It's the same thing. So like, you hear this and you're like, oh my gosh, this would be such a better way of everyone, because then you would end up with like the 75% of votes who would end up winning this pool. I don't know how it all break down, but that would be an interesting thing, because instead of just taking these 2 polar opposite people and fields and thoughts, you're able to kind of form who you're looking for based on multiple options.
200, 300 years ago, when these democracies decided how they would vote, they didn't have the same intellectual knowledge as to what a good voting system would look like, which is why all the political systems tend to just two parties, because you get competitive advantage. If you and another party can combine into one, you're going to win a lot more, right? And it's probably not so great that it's nearly impossible for a third party to ever occur, because it's unfair to think that the range of human desire and emotion is filtered into just two different styles of belief, party A or party B. It's terrible. So what's the third thing we can do? The first thing was get better candidates. The second thing was have a better voting system. Now, the third thing is have better voters, which is dangerous. If you make a voting test that says only qualified, smart enough, intelligent enough to choose between a bad candidate and a good candidate, a person that can see through the bullshit and the lies that all of these candidates like to speak in order to get elected, that's the only person we're going to allow vote. Well, that's a very dangerous test to make. If you do it wrong, you could disadvantage certain socioeconomic groups, certain races, and so the test would have to be written quite well. I would like to say that in all the other areas of life regarding profession, we have been able to make these tests fair. So if you want to be an electrician or a plumber or a hair cutter, you need to get your qualifications and your license, or you're legally not allowed to do these things, right? If electricians didn't require licenses, there'd be a lot more houses burning down, right? So if we've been able to, in other important areas of life, have a good test, which cuts out the stupids from doing bad things, maybe we can do that with voting too. There's people who have never made a good decision for themselves in their life, and now you're letting them work on your democracy. If a person's not qualified to work on cars, you don't want him working on your car. If he's not qualified to work on people as a doctor, you don't want him trying to cure your health problem. Well, then why is it that any idiot with a heart rate is allowed to vote and we think great things are going to happen? In summary, you need better candidates chosen by a better voting system, ordered lists. And it would be great if the people doing the choosing and the voting were actually qualified to do so.
I mean, damn. Pretty much says it right there, right? So that was back 5 years ago. Now, again, he was saying the same thing recently on another interview that he had just done. And I can't remember if it was the Financial Safari interview or who it was with. I could probably just end up sorting by. Go with the newest. Okay, love you. Alrighty. Wife's taking the pups out. And here we go. So I can't remember exactly which interview it was. Definitely wasn't this one. But there was one that he had just recently said. And I'll have to find it. It was like Safari, Financial Safari or something like that, where he basically talks about the same thing of how a democracy should work and could work if just simply implemented, right? Nothing crazy. And so I thought that was pretty interesting. I thought just the fact that he's been saying this stuff, I mean, since probably way before he was even publicizing this information on YouTube, right? I'm sure he was sharing this information with many of other people just because that seems like something that would end up happening. I'm just gonna get this adjusted here on my end. And why don't I have this working? Why are you not working? Work. Okay. Oh, you actually need it to be open? Interesting. Didn't realize that. Huh. Well, let's do that then. Interesting. Yep, there we go. Cool. Alright, figured that out. That's cool. Cool. Alright, guys. Well, I just wanted to get that little ticker thing going at the bottom just because, as always, I want to make sure y'all like, subscribe, and leave a comment down below if you're enjoying the content. Always appreciated. Alright, so I was looking at, again, some of the videos from back then, right? Here we go. Oh, give me 1 second. Get some drop frame here. Alright, it's okay, computer. You can calm down. Calm down. What is hurting you now? Okay, so I'm just gonna go a little bit easier on this one. Oh yeah, and won't get rid of that. Alright. Well, hopefully we're getting this going up and running again. No more dropped frames. No more skipped. You know, it's interesting. I actually downloaded some music the other day. I'm just gonna play that instead because if there's less going on, hopefully, for the computer, then the easier it is that we can go and actually watch some of the other videos. So let's see. Where was that? Alright, well, how are y'all doing today? Hopefully everyone's doing all good. Yeah, give me 1 second, y'all. Let me swing on through. I'll be right back.
Can't turn around every part of me. Now you know where to be found. You got me confused, a little off balance. Thought I knew you, but you got bad habits. I only see you when I'm thinking about you. Thinking about you.
Calm down, computer. My goodness. I have some new RAM coming tomorrow, so hopefully this is going to help speed this silly computer up, or maybe it's just time I upgrade to a new computer. Yeah, I mean, how come we can't even play a downloaded video? Like, that doesn't seem right. Well, I guess I could see why people don't mess with music and stuff during their stream, but maybe I just have a bad computer and need to work on the whole setup. Yep. Sounds about right. Well, let's do this. All right. Well, on this one, guys, I was actually just looking it back, and it just changed. He may have been doing some outrage marketing. He may have changed his strategy, but the same place that he was living at whenever he was, probably retired, but is sitting at the same exact place. Now, there was something interesting that I had in this little search of mine. Let me pull this up here because I thought this was kind of funny. But did you know that back in the day, or not even back in the day, that chair that Richard Hart sits on, that there's another chair directly next to it that is the exact same? How crazy is that? Let me pull that up here. Here we go. It's the one I saw the video of the in the bikini sitting on the chair next to him. And that's the one that I realized this man has the exact same chair sitting next to him. And I thought that was the coolest thing ever. So let me pull it here, because it was actually this video.
All right. So, guys, it's us again. We're
Yep.
back. One of us changed our outfits.
Yes.
Hello there.
Well, it's that one here, okay? So you can see on this one he has two chairs. I thought this was the craziest thing ever. I had no freaking clue that the man had two of these throne chairs directly next to each other. How fire is that? Just wanted to share. Thought it was a pretty cool thing that I had seen. Wanted to share with y'all. But those were just a couple of the items that I was seeing. Has he changed? No, I feel like he has not changed. He's been saying the same thing for year after year after year. He's been trying to save people since, as far as I can tell, right? He's created 2 free self-help books prior to even YouTube videos, trying to get people to stop drinking, stop gambling, stop playing games, stop trading. Many things this man has done for the better of humanity, and I don't feel that he has changed who that man is, okay? So at this point in time, whenever we have that Pulse Chain launch, he's creating this whole ecosystem of people with a similar mindset that just want to help others. Now, what that means, which is really cool actually, what that actually means is he's given all of us the ability to, at one point in time, take control of our finances. He's given us the ability to help our family get control of their finances, okay? So every single time this man has set forth an endeavor to create something, it's been for the betterment of society and for the betterment of humanity. So I don't feel that he has changed, because even at this moment in time, just by creating Pulse Chain, just by that fact alone, he is actually going to be saving the world, like globally, because he's removing miners. He's switching from a proof of work stake to a proof of stake. I apologize on that. He's switching from a proof of weight to a proof of stake. So instead of all this single or proof of work, my goodness, what am I talking about, man? He's switching from the Ethereum proof of work chain that it's on right now to a proof of stake chain that it's going to be whenever Pulse Chain launches. Couldn't get that one out, silly as that is. But just by doing that alone, he's actually helping globally as well. So the man hasn't changed who he is. He hasn't changed his beliefs. I don't feel that he has changed any of those items. I guess let me know in the comments down below how y'all are feeling about it. Right? Like, do y'all feel that he has changed at this point in time? Do you feel that, you know, from who he once was, that there is a different man that's in front of us now at this point? Because for the last 2 years that I've been watching and following, he's been true to his word every single time. I don't count these whole dates of Pulse Chain being launched and everything. No one's gonna hold anyone accountable. If anyone does hold anyone accountable, you're just stupid. But we're all guessing over here. We're all hoping it's gonna be soon. And one thing we can guarantee is that another day has gone by, that it is one day closer. Truly one day closer. Every single day that goes by is one day closer. Okay? So I wanted to share those ideas. I wanted to share those videos. I wanted to see what y'all's thoughts were. I wanted to see if there was anything that I may have been missing. I do have some more streams coming. Again, I'm planning on getting this set up to where I can be streaming every Monday, Wednesday, Friday. At this point in time, I do want to get my setup completed to where I'm not having all these drop frames. So I'm going to be getting it set up to where I have an Ethernet connection. I'm going to have it done to where, again, I'm just going to hopefully just be improving my entire setup. The computer will be getting improved. RAM will be getting improved. Storage will be getting improved. So I'm trying to do what I know how to do. But if anyone has any tips, any advice, besides just obviously going to buy the whole brand new Mac or something like that, but let me know. Let me know in the comments down below. I'm always happy to help and share and see what's happening as well. But at this point in time, guys, let me see. 1 second. Let me pull up the latest Twitter to see if Richard Hart has said anything about the Pulse Chain launch. Because, man, if y'all aren't checking that every now and again, I definitely am. Now, what I found really cool just recently, I'm not even sure if y'all were aware of this, but there's now a new thing that you can go to where you just have to go to buy.hex.com and you can actually buy Hex directly. Yeah, I mean, it's getting, something's eating up this, whatever it is. So let's just see. Can I close? If I close you down, does it make any difference? I'm gonna give that a second to see if it keeps going or not. Richard Hart. Any news? Ooh, he got the double rainbow. Let me see here. All right, no, I don't see anything that he's posted of the launch at this point in time. We are still waiting, and it looks like we'll be continuing to wait for the foreseeable future. But again, like I had mentioned, or like I said, every day that goes by, we are in fact closer. Well, let's get this done here, y'all, so that way, for whatever reason, my computer can take its break that it needs to. But if you enjoyed the video, be sure to leave a like, be sure to comment down below, be sure to subscribe. Do me a favor as well, because guys, when Pulse launches, I want y'all to think about this. Right now, There's not a better time to be buying crypto other than right now, because you have literally almost near the bottom prices. If you have not been purchasing because you're scared of how low it can possibly go, you're not thinking, will this go long term? Will this last for the next 5, 6, 8, however long you need to go for? Is it still going to be around? Will it have product fit? Is it going to be like a Bitcoin, Ethereum? Is it going to be like one of those? Could it be like Hex? There's many things going on, but I definitely want y'all to know that, guys, if you get crypto right, it could be the best thing to ever financially happen to you. So make sure that you're spending time doing research into what you're investing that money in, because again, that's your hard-earned money, and there's no point in keeping it in these decentralized funds, these centralized banks. We've seen it time and time again. People keep getting rug pulled. Transactions continue to get halted. That was something that I meant to say. Richard Hart has been warning about halts and freezes and everything from everyone forever. Okay? He's still warning about those same things. So he hasn't changed, in my opinion. But y'all have a great night. Enjoy. And again,